Even if you had that up here and you had to go to Toronto for a specialist, you'd be linked up all the way around.
You're going to do it.
Yeah.
That's right. This past weekend, we had, when I say we, we had a happy birthday party
for our
grandmother who was 90 years old. And as you know, being there was over 100 and some people. I'm not sure, but it was packed.
At one
and
point
all of it was relatives and friends. And what was your reaction when you saw a lot of these people? Because before I say any more, most of them were either at your wedding or my wedding, and you haven't probably seen a lot of them since.
No, unfortunately, we see them at weddings or funerals. But this one was nice. I was watching the kids, my kids, interacting with their third and fourth cousins, and I was reflecting on when we were young, this was us running around. Now we're the adults standing by watching our children form the generation. But, my grandmother is very lucky. She's 27 grandchildren, 31 great-grandchildren, I think it is. And I think she's on 2.5 great-great-grandchildren, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And she has all of her wits about her, and we love her. And we showed that this weekend when we were there.
And did you feel overwhelmed by seeing everybody?
I just felt that I need to make more time to see my family. It's like, it's rare that you see everybody in one room. You really, when we're up here, we have to say, okay, you know what, I'm available, are you? And then you make plans to see everybody, and you don't catch everybody. Not with a big family like ours, you don't catch everybody.
It's very overwhelming, and it was kind of nice to have everybody together. And like you said, we are getting older, things are happening.
We're that generation watching our children play.
That's right.
So.
And your kids are not small. I mean, they're huge. They're tall.
Oh, they're tall. They're not really huge.
Even for a 15-year-old,
he's 13.
13-year-old, he looks like 17. So he was beside my son, who's 12. And he was looking up at him, so, our kids are getting...
6'1", 6 feet, and 5 feet are my children, and they're only 18, 13, and 11, so yeah.
But things are good, and everything's fine with them.
They say bad weeds grow fast. No.
Okay, thanks. I'm 5'9", so that must have fell on my part.
I'm the short one in the family.
So, overall, the reason why I wanted to bring you on here was to see, your difference of opinion from living in the city, from the town. Is there anything you would ever change of living in the city?
I'd like to have that openness and trust with the neighbors like we had when we were growing up, where we used to go to people's houses and walk in. And I remember a time when Mommy thought it was us downstairs in the basement, and we, there were 7 kids playing pool, but not one of them were hers. It was the neighbors' kids. We were out at their houses.
That's right.
You won't find that anymore because it's a lot of... Unless you really get to know someone, there's a lot of mistrust, especially in the city, especially with the crime nowadays. And, so, I do make it a point of knowing my kids' friends, their parents, and they get to know us too, and it doesn't always click. But you'll never have that open door policy that's up here. You'll never have that, I'm popping in for a coffee with so-and-so and go from house to house, if that's what you'll never get that down in the city.
Well, it's because it's too big. The bigger you get, the harder it is to get to know people.
Yeah, and it's growing. It's just growing and growing and growing. So, and it won't stop.
And it doesn't bug you about the fact that it's so big?
No. As I said, I don't think about it in numbers. No. I really don't. I look at my little section of the world I'm living in, and that's the world I'm worried about.
As long as you're content and everybody's happy and healthy, that's the main thing.
Absolutely.
I have to be really honest with you. I love Toronto. I can visit with Toronto anytime. As you know, I do come down. But to live there, I'm sorry. I would never live in Toronto.
You
no
adapt
pun
to
taken.
it. You seriously adapt to the city life. I can get anywhere around Toronto from east to west, north to south on the subway system without a problem. Mm-hmm. But you adapt to it, and you adapt to that lifestyle.
It's true, but you have to want that lifestyle.
Yeah. City people have a hard time adapting to a small town life because they're not used to everybody being there or knowing them.
No, and they were also born into the city.
Yeah.
Like you were born into a very small town and went to a huge city.
And my husband was born in New York City. So when he moved to Toronto, he actually thought it was a small town until he came up here and realized it was even smaller.
Okay, for sure, because the big change.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget it, the day when you said, at 18, I'm leaving, I'm going to where there's life. You're there,
I
there's
went to
life.
explore.
30, I was going to say 37 years later.
I'm not that old.
23 years later, you're still there. You seem happy. I'm glad for you. I'm glad things are going well. Like I said, I want you to come on, talk about the comparison of then and now or whatnot. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I know you were like kind of frustrated there, not sure, but you did a fine job.
Thank
and
you.
you know, keep up the good thing with the kids and
And
everything.
let it be known you owe me one.
I owe you one. But also keep yourself safe down there. Like you said, it's not easy, but I'm sure you guys will do a good thing down there. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
So before I close off, I just want to mention a few things. As you know, the furniture we're sitting on, as I mentioned, it's brand new. The furniture was given to us by Meubles Saint-Martin. The design and the colors were done by Connie McHugh. The window here in the back of us, the picture was done by Wayne Rockburn. The paint and the installation of the drapes is Al LaBelle. And Al, you can come to my house and you can iron my curtains any day. The decorations were done by Connie's Boutique and Home Decor, which is stuff on the table. Zach, Natalie's son Zach came in and did some extra work too. So thanks a lot, Zach. Keep watching us. You're doing well. I also want to mention a few things before I close off, is that on the 7th of April, Natalie LaBelle from Saint Cérémonie and myself, we're going to do an open live talk show. You're going to have to phone in, give us some ideas. We're not sure what the show is called. We're still going for something like 100 slices. It seems to bring in both shows. The other thing I want to mention is don't forget the diabetes walk. It's Sunday, May 30th, and I know it's still far away, but they're looking for people to be leaders, you know, to be captain of a team, to walk, to gather people, gather sponsors, whatnot. That's Sunday, May 30th. And I know my grandmother watches this, so Grandma, I hope you had a good time on Saturday. And I'm glad that everybody came out, and we want to wish you a happy 90th birthday.
Happy birthday.
So I'm Lisa Maury with my sister Diana Lee. Thank you for watching Slice of Home. I almost forgot where we were. So comfortable.
Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then